Hey guys, it's Charmise Idris here, and today we're talking about natural colorants for your cold process soap. I did have another video about clays. I'll put that up in the description. Today's video is actually the second video, and we're going to do a bunch of different types of powders today to see what the soap is going to look like when you first make it, and then also 6 weeks, well, it is now 6 weeks from when I first made it. You'll be able to see what it looks like fresh and what it looks like cured. So let's get into it. For the first batch of natural colorants, I will be doing cranberry, turmeric, madder root, charcoal, hibiscus, beetroot, paprika, and indigo. So first I'm going to start off with making the soap, and for this recipe I decided that I wanted a very thin trace for as long as possible, so I chose a very heavy olive oil recipe, but I also added in some castor oil and coconut oil as well. And I also want the color to be the main star of this, so I decided to not add any fragrance oil either. In order to easily disperse the colors in the soap, I have added 1/4 of a teaspoon of colorant to each cup, and I will add 3/4 of a teaspoon of oil. And for the oil, I decided on sweet almond oil, and I actually made a mistake with this because I added it to all of them, and I actually meant to add it to everything but the indigo powder, because on the Brambleberry site, which is where I bought it from, they recommended using distilled water to disperse it instead of oil. But I was doing a lot and forgot, so it got dispersed in oil instead of water. It seems like it came out fine though. And I know some of my more experienced soapers out there are looking at some of these ingredients like, girl, these are not going to work. Why are you trying them? I'm aware on some of them that they may not work, but I did want to try them for myself just to see that it actually would not work and to show you guys what it would end up looking like. And with saying that, make sure you take a look at how beautiful that cranberry powder is up in the top left-hand corner. It ain't gonna look like that later. I mixed the soap just long enough to be emulsified, and I have a very, very thin trace to the soap. And this is all because I'm doing all of these colors almost all at the same time. So I do want to keep the soap as thin as I can for as long as I can. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that basically the colorants will equal out to 1 teaspoon of natural colorant per pound of soap. And of course you can use less or a lot more depending on the colorant that you're using, but I did want to keep it the same for all of the colorants in both of the videos. So I decided to use the same type of mold that I did in the clay video because it actually turned out very well. And so I just labeled each one so that I can know exactly what I was pouring in there. So with the cranberry and the beetroot, they turned out terribly. I did actually try them later after the video just to make sure I didn't mess anything up, and they turned out the same. So I guess that's what they look like. But I had such high hopes. So that was just the first half of the colorants that I'm using for this video. The greens have a whole part of their own, and they include spinach, wheatgrass, matcha, alfalfa, celery, chlorella, spirulina, and green tea powder. And of course, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did with the other powders with the green powders. And these will all be mixed with sweet almond oil as well. So I kind of already knew the green tea powder and the matcha powder would not work out, but I wanted to see the extent of the damage, and y'all, well, you'll see it later. But anyway, look at what the spirulina did. It's so beautiful. Not gonna last, but it's very beautiful right now. And the middle square is actually my control, so I have not added anything to the soap that's in the middle square, just so that I can see what the color of the soap would be without any additives. Alright guys, so as I stated earlier in the video, I was aware that some of these would not work out, but I just wanted to see it for myself instead of taking other people's word for it. But here is the control, so this was the one that I did not add anything to at all. Here is the paprika, and I could have definitely mixed this one much better, but I get the general gist of the color. Here's the madder root. Oddly enough, this is the hibiscus. I was hoping that this one would actually do something crazy, but I guess it did because it didn't come out the way I wish it would. But I did want it to be, of course, nice and rich and rosy, kind of like the powder, but that's what that looks like. Here's the indigo. It's kind of giving light charcoal, but I see the blue in there. Cranberry. Yeah, this one was trash from the start, so there's cranberry, not looking like cranberry. And here is the turmeric soap. So of course you can get different shades of really any of these, but you see it mostly with turmeric or charcoal, because some people add a lot of turmeric, some people don't add that much, and you'll see all different shades of orange. Speaking of charcoal, here's the charcoal. Here's the beetroot. Yeah, failure. You're a failure, beetroot. And I tried beetroot a couple times actually. Still turned out like this, just without that. Alfalfa powder. Wheatgrass powder. Spinach powder. Spirulina. Chlorella, which is actually my favorite of the greens because it's the most green, I guess. Celery. And then let's talk about these two failures over here, matcha and green tea. Yuck. This one was leaking terribly. I guess that's what you call it, leaking. But I don't know what happened. Yes, I would never add these to my soap because that just does not look good at all. But yeah, there it is. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure you check out my patrons over here, and their links are in the description below. Some of them actually helped me choose the colors for this video. And I'm actually also trying to decide if I should do a melt and pour soap video with natural colorants, clays, and the ones I used in this video as well. So if you want to see that, please let me know. I can make it happen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you like the video, please like the video. All right, y'all. Peace.